Okay, this is my second video. I got the Borla long tubes in. The tips I can give you guys, obviously the sensors reach just fine without the extensions, which I'm going to return the ones I bought because they said you need them for the Borlas, but you don't. On the hardware, I suggest getting all new Ford hardware for as cheap as it is. You're already in here. Unloosen this tube, unbolt this tube here. It makes it a lot easier to work on this side. You do have to bring these in from the bottom. They will not come in from the top. I've tried both sides. But taking this tube out and taking the battery tray out and the battery out also helps with getting them in here as far as getting to the hardware itself. But these are 1,000 times easier than shorties. The driver's side, I came from the bottom also. It's kind of a pain getting around the steering shaft. You just kind of gotta have an extra hand for getting them up. And the other thing is too that I thought was keeping the gaskets in place. I was putting the headers on. I didn't have anything to keep them stuck to the side of the motor. So if you can find something when you put the gaskets on, and I used the BBK gaskets. I bought them for these headers for 30 bucks. It seemed to be a really good gasket. They're multi-layer steel. The driver's side, which I'll show you. Show you what you can do on that. I haven't got the X pipe on yet. It's still sitting here to connect to the tailpipes, but the construction is phenomenal compared to the shorties. Over here you can see how close it is. This side I had to take this nut off in order to get the sensor plugged back in, but you can see they reach just fine without extensions. You do not need them on the Borlas. Yes, the Borlas are priced compared to the BBK, but I cannot wait to see how these things actually perform because they look incredible in the car. Just something to think about. Yeah, that's $1,000 for the kit, but you get what you pay for. And I wasted that much money already, damn near. And the shorties, the BBK Cat X pipe. This should be a pretty easy installation. It by yourself, it can be done. It's not terrible. You will want some flex head ratchets and some flex head boxing wrenches to get to the lower bolts. They're both equally. There's not quite enough depth for a long socket and a ratchet in here, even with quarter-inch drive stuff. Because when the tube curves straight, here's where it's the problem. So I'm using my boxing wrenches on the lower studs. The top studs are obviously easy on both sides, but still 1,000 times easier than putting shorties on these cars. You know, if you're on the fence about doing long tubes, it's worth it. The car performs a lot better, and of course my tuner turns off the lights for the sensors, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna put the stock mufflers back on it to quiet it down until I can buy some aftermarket mufflers later. I have pipes, axle backs on right now, and it's freaking obscene with the old setup I had, so I can only imagine what's going to be with these. But I like the fact the weld quality on these headers are great. The flanges are nice and thick. It's a sturdy part. They even label left side, right side for it, which I thought was kind of funny, but whatever with stickers. But it is what it is. I hopefully have exhaust clips here soon to actually hear it running, but I just thought I'd let you know this is the other partial part of the video of the install.